And today's video is approaching a subject that a lot of owners of German cars are familiar with, and that is the tendency for the buttons that are high use to lose their finish. You can see here my front window buttons on my Mercedes GLK, it's 2011, are worn. They actually looked a lot worse than that. Whenever I bought the car, I just did a crude touch-up job with some black paint, figuring that would look better than a Sharpie, which just isn't the right color or consistency. There are other buttons on here that are in need of a little love, like this one, for example. You can see where some of the touch-up I've done is already coming off. But basically what I did is I got a kit that has the buttons on this section here as well as the trunk release down below. Now the thing is, most of these are just fine. My door lock and rear window switches look fine. The mirror switches look fine. The toggle is perfection. So my plan is just to replace these top two to make them look better and put these new decals. They're kind of like phony fingernails. So we'll see how this goes. Now the first step I'm going to do here, which you probably won't have to, is to remove some of the excess paint I put on it. And you can see the real crux of this issue is that in their infinite wisdom, Mercedes, and I guess just about every other German manufacturer, uses white plastic to make these buttons from. I understand why, because they're backlit, so you can see the little symbols at night through the these are transparent, so they actually show up at night. So I guess they have to be that way, but oh my goodness, it makes it hard for you to deal with just the tiniest bit of peeling paint. Now, okay, the thing is, I can probably get a better result. I hope. I'm kind of hit the point of no return here by peeling all the paint off. Now, it's going to take a few minutes. It's not going to be an exciting process. And I really do hope that these new switch covers work, because I am committed at this point. I have burned my boat on the shore, so to speak. So I'll just clean this up and come back when I'm done. And that's where I ended up. Now, the other thing I'm going to do before I try to apply anything is I am going to use that Sharpie that I was talking about before, and I'm going to go around the outside, because obviously these little appliques that go on top here may leave a little bit of a gap around the edge, and if they didn't quite cover, it's going to be standing out like night and day. So I'm going to go around the edge, and hopefully I'll end up with enough ink here. Doesn't have to be a beautiful job. None of this is going to show, except possibly the very outside edge. And just keep going until I don't think anything will stand out after I put the cover on. You can see why the Sharpie alone is not really the answer, because you see the difference in the shininess and the color of this patch here. If I were to leave it like that, it's just going to annoy me every mile I'm driving this car. Alright, interestingly, these aren't marked, so you kind of have to use your imagination and keep trying all the different options until you find one that fits best. I thought that I had it with this one, but you can't really see it, but the curve is just not quite right. But this one covers pretty much everything, so I'm going to assume that's the one that goes there. So next thing to do is we got to get this thing prepped to install. So I'm going to use a little bit of alcohol, rubbing alcohol, or contact cleaner or something similar. I could use acetone. I just have to be very careful, because I do want that very clean before I apply the adhesive. Okay, now that the garbage truck has gone by, I'm going to spray a little bit of, in this case, contact cleaner, which is very good alcohol-like cleaner to remove any residue from the face of the switch. Then I'm going to take the going to peel this tiny little backing, protective backing off of this this template here, this overlay, to expose the adhesive on the back. Now really, you're going to get about 1.0 chances to get this right, so it's going to involve really careful placement, and I would suggest not pushing anything down until you're fairly certain you've got it on right. Okay, I just that seemed to do it. Okay, it's on there. And I gotta say, knowing what I know and knowing that it's there and looking very closely, I can tell that that's not really factory. But I'll tell you, it's actually, you'll notice that I probably placed it just a bit further to the inside of the car than I should have. I'm not going to worry about that because you can't see that unless you're at the angle this camera is, which isn't the angle you see it from inside the car. So I'm going to call that good. That looks really nice. You can see from over here, it's just indistinguishable from the factory switch. Same thing here. I'm going to find the right one and clean it and attach it. Once again, peel off the backing from the adhesive, and I would recommend using something like an X204 knife or something similar, and avoid touching it with your fingers as much as possible. And you can steer it into place however you see fit. Alright, so there's my completed repair, and honestly, it looks pretty good. I'm happy. The color is a good match. I would say probably not perfect, but plenty close enough. It looks a whole lot better than it did. These little caps have just a little bit of an edge that hooks over the top, and you can see that it's covering up the very top edge of the button itself. I'm going to go ahead and go over with the Sharpie over the top, just because I just saw a tiny bit of white peeking out there. And there it is, folks. Quick, easy. Now I just have to get one for that button and a couple on my dash, which have similarly worn out, and we'll be back to factory. I should mention that the kit not only comes with the buttons for everything on this door, but it also comes for the window buttons in the other three doors in the car, which in this case happen to be in great shape, so I won't be using them. But yeah, for 15 bucks or whatever this cost, and the quick and easy improvement it did, well worth it. And the final test is checking out how well they pass light from the backlighting. The reason I did the installation the way I did, with the left one being fully stripped and this one not, was to see if this would happen, and sure enough it does. Clearly they both do block a lot more of the light than the original switches do. Pardon my focusing issues here. The camera is struggling with focus, but the difference is actually less than shows on the camera right now. I can actually see all four window switches. The top two are clearly dimmer, but still very visible, including the right one. It's not hidden. If it's dark, I can still find it. Certainly I can find it by feel anyway. Now the next question is just to find out if they will continue to stick.